So I actually decided that I'm also gonna just start doing like daily updates. And I feel like not so much accountability, but I guess just to like, just get myself like up and out and energized, because I'm not gonna hold you, like I feel like I am grateful for my family, because I'm sure that I probably would be like Netflix and chilling in a dark room for days at a time if I didn't have children to be like, mommy, 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 mommy. And if I didn't have like, the responsibility of having them. So like, part of me is grateful that I have them, because it's like I can't sulk around because I have them, and because it's like, yeah, nah, baby, mommy duty calls first. And actually, you got to put your grief on hold when you are in the midst of raising kids, And I even think about the fact that it's like my mom told me about when she lost her mom, and she would tell me how, she had already been in America, and she was already married, she had already had me, and finding out that her mother passed away in Haiti and not being able to go home. And I just can't even imagine that pain, because it's like, man, like at least I had the opportunity to like be here, but I can't imagine like having to go through the grief on top of knowing that she was in another country, and the likelihood of me being a little girl and probably being like, mommy, 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 and not understanding that my own mother had been going through that same grief around my age. Because I believe my mom also lost her mom around the time she was about like 37. She was about 37. And actually, I'm turning 37 this year. So, yeah. Yeah. But I'm gonna go and grab some Starbucks. I'm gonna go get a matcha latte. And actually, great news, because I have this thing like set up where I get notifications from the mail, like the USPS, and it shows me images of everything that's been scanned that's supposed to be coming into the mail that day. And the title is coming. The title. Oh my gosh, y'all, I've been waiting for that damn title for so long. It's been crazy. I've been telling the funeral home, like, listen, I'm gonna keep you posted. Like, I've been keeping him posted every step of the way, and he's been actually so great with working with me, you guys, because that's the only way that I would have been able to do this, you know what I mean? Like, the funeral happened in May, where in June, today's June 30th, and again, I still have a balance that I'm paying with them. I don't know how long payment plans normally last with funeral homes. Y'all let me know, like, how long do people generally pay on funerals? Like, is this like a, because really for me, the pace was like every week, every 2 weeks, I was making a payment towards it. And then now I'm down to the last like 3,000. And yeah, like he's been really good where I'm like, listen, I have to sell the car so that I can pay the balance. And so really he's been great with just like, hey, as long as you keep me in the loop and let me know what's going on, like with the process, I'm good. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, is just kind of like, texting him like, hey, I'm still waiting for the title, so I will keep you posted. And so when I saw this notification this morning, I literally texted him like, hey, I think the title is going to be arriving today, so I'm going to get, so the process is going to be starting of facilitating the car sale, so I'm just keeping you in the loop. So hopefully it should be happening within like the next week and a half, and then I'll be able to have that balance paid for you. So yeah, things are looking up. And I got a random withdrawal from Fidelity. I don't know how much it is, but I think it's actually from my 403b from my last job. So because again, you guys, I worked at, oh my gosh, there's a gigantic dragonfly behind me that was flying behind me. But there is there I'm sorry, what was I saying, you guys? I got confused. I got distracted by that dragonfly. But no, so what was I saying? So yeah, so prior to working at the marina, I worked at a sports tech company. So I actually worked at one of the biggest sports tech companies. It was basically similar to I'm trying to think. Oh, so if you guys have ever heard of like Prize Picks, it's the company that I used to work for is similar to Prize Picks, but it's the number one company in that industry as sports tech. So I worked at that company for about a year actually, and that is where I left because I was working there like, full time overnight, and the overnight schedule was just starting to kill me. And so, I did ask them like, hey, is there any way that I can switch to days, because like the overnight schedule is killing me. And I was under the impression that based on what they had told me about, we used to do rotating shifts every 6 months, and so it would be something where it was like we would do a draft, right? Because again, I worked at a sports tech company, so they would do a draft, and so we would do a draft every 6 months, and your schedule was supposed to change. And so initially when I started, I was totally fine with working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 10 to 6, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it was a terrible schedule working overnight and then all through the weekend, Thursday through Tuesday. But I was like, all right, okay, you said that the schedule's going to rotate, so that's fine. I'll stick it out. So I did it. And even at the time, while I was caring for my mother, while my mother was at my house, that was the schedule that I was working. And so even still, sometimes it would be so difficult because there were times where I would have to take a day off just so that I could sleep at night. Oh my gosh. Oh, y'all, listen, I'm going to have to close my window because, listen, this dragonfly looks like it's trying to get in. But yeah, but no, so even during the time that I was caring for my mother, that she was at my house, I was working that schedule. But it used to get bad because it would be like I would be so tired, and some of her doctor's appointments that I wanted to go to with her, that I wanted to, advocate for her at, they would be during the day, obviously, right? And so there would be days where I would have to take the day off. And so I was like, listen, this would be a lot easier if I could, just work the day hours. And then, right, we had unlimited PTO. So then I was able to just, take the time off that I needed to go to the doctor with my mom and do whatever I needed to do for her. But they literally were like, hey, once you're on the overnight forever. And I was like, okay, all right. Well, we've gone through one draft so far. I got the shitty schedule. All right. We went through a second draft. I got the crappy schedule the second time. I did it. So I worked all the way through the summer and through the holiday season with the crappy schedule. But the third draft came and they drafted me on the same schedule and the same days. So still, I would have been working Wednesday through Monday, 10 p.m. to 6. And I was like, listen, but is this fair though? Because like I stuck it out for the year because I was like, okay, I don't mind, digging in, doing the crappy schedule for even a year. You know what I mean? If it means that I could get into the other shift, going forward. But the fact that they were like, yeah, the schedule's going to be what it is. You can't switch the overnights. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. But then what about the days? Like, at least can I do an overnight like Monday through Friday? Because honestly, like, yeah, doing Wednesday through Monday, like that kind of kills me sometimes. You know what I mean? Honestly. And it's like, yeah, we can't really predict the draft. So yeah, you could get these days every single time. And it's like, yeah, but I've been already doing it for a year. So when is that going to change? And it's like, yeah, we don't really know. Seniority. And it's like, yeah, but you guys don't even have a pathway to like, you guys don't have a clear career pathway for customer experience analysts. So it's like, when you say seniority, like there are people that have been here in this position for 5 years. Like that doesn't make me hopeful, so yes, so I left there as a result because I needed a better schedule. But yeah, just when I think about like, probably little me annoying the hell out of my mother, when she lost her mother. And I'm just like, yeah, I can't imagine, because y'all, I haven't had a time to even just think. I was just telling my husband that this morning, like, actually, yes, like, today my kids went to summer camp. They started summer camp. I'm so happy. Like, and I love my children. But I mean, losing my mother, because when I tell you guys, right, I was just telling my husband where I'm like, listen, I just want to be able to cry in peace. And is that so bad? Because when I say that, it's just that it's like there have been moments where I'm thinking about my mom, and it's like I just want to be able to sit and think about her by myself. I just want to be able to cry and not have my kids be like, Mommy, why are you crying? Are you crying about grandma? And then they start crying. And then now I have to put my grief on hold to console them. And it's like, listen, I know she was your grandma, and I know y'all love her, but she was my mom. Like, I just need time. I just need time to be alone, and so, but yeah, I don't know, you guys, but, yeah, so I got the withdrawal. I got the notification that a withdrawal is coming from my 403B from that job that I was working at for that year and some change. And like I said, I mean, I took that job because really, again, that's what they told us. Take a gap job, pivot. But it's like, in reality, I don't know, because taking a downgrade on like a job that is within your skill level, like, I don't even know if that's a benefit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just don't see that to be a benefit, because you're likely taking a pay cut, you're going to be doing less challenging work, which isn't stimulating, right? Like, you're bored. Like, that's how I also felt at a lot of these jobs. That's even what they told me at the marina, which is that, like, hey, we're worried that you're gonna be bored. And I was like, listen, I'm over here automating stuff in their emails. I'm over here generating code with ChatGPT and automating stuff with Python in their Windows computers. Like, I'm having a blast. Trust me, I can find stuff to do, especially when it comes to technology. Like, trust, y'all got some computers, I'm good, but it's just like, it does get to be frustrating when you take a downgrade in a job and they're not paying you even as well, but then it's like you don't have flexibility, or the schedule is crappy in addition to everything else, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I think now I'm back to just applying to, technical roles, right? So roles that are within my skill level, which is like technical support specialist. I would even go down to like a help desk specialist, support engineer, a platform support engineer. So those are kind of the positions that I'm looking for right now, entry level software engineer roles. And then I'm also, again, I'm freelancing as a web developer now with a company on the side. So that's kind of my plan right now. And then in addition to, continuing to show up here on my YouTube and, keep sharing my experiences with you guys, I guess, right? Like, I don't know. Things are interesting. I'm trying to like keep my mind clear of, too much, negative chaos, but yeah. But all right, let's go get my matcha. So yeah, you guys, I'm about to go to the park, and then we can finish our chat there. Because yeah, actually, I feel like I be having a lot to say, but then, it's just like sometimes I just don't have, I just don't have the space to expel it. And it's like, actually, I need to, like, this is what makes me me, and this is what makes YouTube. Let's go to the park. All right, y'all. I hope you can hear me. But yeah, so I'm actually recording from my Osmo Pocket 3. And let me know, y'all, if you want me to make a video about this, because actually it's really cool. So I don't know if you guys can see this. If I show you the screen of myself on my phone, if y'all will be able to see it if I show you on my camera. But I hope you can see it. But literally, I can control the camera from my phone, which is really cool. And you can like move the gimbal and move everything, so you can like move it up and down. You can spin the screen around and all that stuff like right from your phone, which is really nice. And the fact that it's compatible with a whole bunch of mics is also something that I love. But actually, hold on, because I want to take the mic off. I don't know why, because I like flailing my arms around when I talk, you guys. So yeah, baby, this is to be expected. But yeah, y'all, so far so good. I'm feeling all right. I did resume my classes, so yes, I'm kind of feeling really good about that, because I don't know what it was too that I was feeling like. I don't know, it's weird, because it's almost kind of like getting back into everything little by little, since losing my mother has been like a process too. So it's like even getting back into classwork, like the first day or two, I was kind of like not freaking out, but kind of freaking out, like, oh my gosh, maybe I forgot everything. And I'm like, actually, girl, no, you're a coder. Like, you didn't forget anything. And I didn't. And I'm so proud of myself. And also, I'm happy too, because every time I tap into my classwork, it also consistently reminds myself of why I'm so happy that I got back into school, right? Because yesterday I had resumed into my classwork, and I think I'm like on the chapter in the intro to Python programming class now, where like I'm in chapter 4. We're going over like tuples and sets, and that's what I mean. Like, literally, I had never been able to understand the difference between a tuple and a list up until now, because I was giving several examples and a whole bunch of like reading material in between to tell me the reason why tuples and lists are different, which is literally that a list can be accessed by a position and by an index place, and tuples cannot be accessed by positions or index places, which means that when you're calling an element in a tuple, you have to call the exact value of that element in a tuple, versus a list where you can either I'm not sure if you can call, I don't know, you guys, I'll have to do research on that, but I know that for the list, you can call it by element, which means that if you want to like change an element in a list or call an element in a list, then you can call it by way of name list, right? Like the name of the list, and then the bracket, and then the index place. So it's like, that's why I love school. That's why I love school. Nobody can ever change my mind and tell me anything different, baby. That's what I mean. Look at these little birds. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm looking at my phone because honestly, like, this is kind of cool. Yes. Oh, yeah. And I did tell you guys that the title's coming. So yes, I do have to clean out my mom's car, and not like clean it out, but yeah, kind of clean it out, because there's a whole bunch of cup holders that are just covered in coins and stuff. But also there are some things that I wanted to take out of, like, that I took out of her house that I actually wanted to put into my house. So I have to kind of sort through everything now again in the car, and then decide what I'm gonna donate. I'll probably drop them off to like a donation box, and then after that after that I will take the rest of the things that I want to take with me. But yeah, y'all. And can you see the difference, you all? Because listen, I'm literally also still learning how to adjust like the ISOs and all of those things, like within the lighting and the background. So bear with me, because obviously I'm pretty sure you can see me a lot better now than you could in the previous clip. And yeah, that's because I took it off of auto this time, and I put it onto manual, and then kind of manually adjusted the settings. And you know what, it matters to do that with your cameras too. Like, just play around with the settings. You can always just reset them to default whenever you need to, but play around with the settings and see the differences on like what things change when you're altering the settings in your camera, because that'll give you a good idea of what you can do to kind of make everything look better depending on the environment and whatever element that you're in. Yeah, I'm learning so many things, and I'm glad that I can come here and share it with you all. But yeah, what was I saying? I'm getting distracted, y'all. I'm getting distracted. Please bear with me because this is raw. I'm not even gonna edit this. But yeah. So I feel optimistic, that everything is gonna go good with the car sale, and then then I'm gonna finish my class and keep making progress towards my engineering degree, because y'all, I still have plenty of work to do after that, because I'm on a mission. I am on a mission. But yeah, you guys let me know too what type of videos do you all like to see from me? Like, although, of course I have the, videos that I like to create myself. Like, I love, making my vlogs. Like, I like, making my study with me videos. I like making the job market videos. So let me know what you all think about the content, the topics that I talk about, and what other topics you would like to see me bring up or speak on. Because, yeah, there's a lot of things that I could talk about. It's just I can't talk about everything all at once. You know what I mean? I have to have some sort of direction and some sort of focus. So, yeah, but I would love to hear your commentary. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I'll see you on the next video.